All right, here we go. It's Friday, October 1st. Um, another options expiration day and first day of the fourth quarter. Um, let's see what we're looking at here today. Good morning, everybody. We are live talking stocks with Coach B. Looks like we got a couple people in here already. What's up, Noir? What's going on with the rocket ships? Or Lucky Charms is in here early this morning. 6-8 Spindrift, what's going on? So before we get into, actually, you know what? We'll look at yesterday. There was 3 stocks that came up on the scanner. We'll look at those real quick and just kind of check it out. Again, I haven't day traded at all this entire week, but I'm still been kind of doing the scans. Because I know some of you guys have still been kind of jumping in and out of these stocks, and so BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, came up yesterday. It did come down and hit a low of 1551, but again, my entry signal is really what the main thing I'm looking for is this 50-day SMA, and zoom in here a little bit. Based on that, we had a bullish crossover here. I probably still would have waited and waited for this to cross up right here. And this would have been kind of my entry point. Kind of choppy, but still a lot of room there. Running from about 1652. I definitely wouldn't have stayed in through this dip, but all the way up to 1728. And then again, my entry point would have probably been somewhere around here when we crossed up again. And then once again, somewhere in here, if I was going to play this. Looks like it even gave another entry point back here, heading into power hour. 1742 up to 18. So a lot of good moves in BBBY yesterday. Looks like it's kind of moving this morning as well. I don't know if it's getting quite the amount of volume. The other one that we had up was FAMY. This one was really choppy throughout the day. I actually did try to look at this one once I kind of sat down at work, and I just didn't like what I saw. Candles are kind of too big to really find anything. It looks like there might have been a good entry right here off the open, but again, I didn't take anything. Maybe here 41 to 45. That's a 10% move on such a small stock. And then it looks like, it was trading above the 50. When I see something like this, now I'll really use these 9 going over the 20 for new entry points. But yeah, not bad. 43 to 45. Not quite as much as that other move, but not bad. And then the last one was PALT. Those were the 3 that I said I was going to keep on my watch list yesterday. If we look at the price action there, it looks like this crazy gap up. I mean, that would have been an entry point, but was that a halt? What are we looking at here? 1102 all the way up to 1395. Wow. So that thing really started running. Again, I haven't even looked at these stocks since I signed off yesterday, except for FAMI. I also had my eye on ATER yesterday, and we got looks like this stock's moving again. ATER was one that I've said continuously I'm going to continue to watch, and I had some alerts set yesterday that triggered. I still didn't buy anything, but again, if anyone was looking to day trade this, my entry signal would have been right here when we had that cross above the 50. Looks like at about 937 up to 1079. I definitely would have got stopped out here. and then probably had another entry in here all the way up to 1178. So some decent opportunities, and then another one near the end of the day for a 50-cent run. So, there's been some great opportunities for those of you guys that have been watching. The next thing I wanted to go over, and I see that Vincent just asked about it in the chat. So, one thing I did see. So, Tito, what's up? Good morning. Kimster, Kenneth Wallace, what's up? Day Late Dollar Short, good morning. Sly Dev, Jimmy Retro, Chef Daddy, Zip Jester, Vincent, and then Michael's coming in with the La Clova Nostra. So, PROG. I read some DD on this one yesterday morning, and I actually sent it on a couple group chats I was in, like, hey, check this out. This looks pretty intriguing. And I want to say maybe when I sent it out, it was somewhere around here, and I was looking at it. It was $1.34. If you go back and look at the daily chart on it, it did gap up yesterday and was already seeing a lot of volume. But this is supposedly new squeeze play. Okay. It ended up running pretty hard yesterday. Looks like it topped out at 160-ish, 158 before closing down to 152. And then in after hours came up to 180. I don't know where it closed here on this line, but popped up to 245 this morning, super early. And now it's kind of coming down. So let's take a look at this play. One of the things that was intriguing about it is it did get a $7 price target, and you're talking about a stock that's trading at, $2. It still gives about double the room for growth. If we zoom out, let me see here. Looks like way back here it was trading around that high, $12 a long time ago. Floats about 103 million. Daily volume right now. I'll pull that up over here. There we go. So if we come all the way back here, we're looking at it was about $10 back in October of last year. So it's kind of really at some all-time lows. Hit 66 cents recently. Daily volume seems to have already been picking up, 10 million, 1 million, 5 million. But even before that, it was more trading in like the 500,000 range, 200,000, 300,000, somewhere in there back here. And then all of a sudden, recently, we've been seeing this huge volume in it, 35 million, 26, 9, 107 yesterday. Okay. We look at Ortex data on it. Looks like we have 45% short interest, +3 this morning. So what's that put us at? About 48, 47. Cost to borrow starting to rise to 11%. Utilization's at 97. It's hard to say, Vincent. I mean, based on it's got a $7 price target, it also is really, grossly oversold down here. I don't know anything about the fundamentals of this company. But I mean, all-time high this year at 950. Current price target of $7. Super high short interest. That looks like just not at face value, double the room for growth fundamentally based off analyst price targets, plus short squeeze potential. Looks pretty intriguing to me. It does have options. I was looking at that yesterday as well. I didn't pull the trigger on anything. Like I said, I've been super busy at work lately and just kind of looking at this stuff, in the spare time that I have, but I haven't been pulling the trigger on anything. But IV for this, for coming up October 15th is through the roof, 312%. I wouldn't touch that at all. If we come out to November, you can get $1.50. I don't know. It's so cheap, it might even just be worth buying the shares, to be perfectly honest. Looks like they're adding in some extra strikes today. That might be pretty interesting, just as like some lotto ticket type stuff. But even then, to grab this for $10, you got to get all the way up to 760 from where it's trading at now in a matter of 100 days. I just, I don't know. I think I would probably go shares here if I was going to play this stock, especially with IV where it's at right now. Looks like it's got a pretty strong delta out there in January though. So for $15, get the $5 strike potentially. Yeah, it does look pretty intriguing. I had thrown it on the the list for today. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on this. Likely look for some day trade entry points and then maybe play it a little bit looser and stay in a little bit longer. Even through what normally I would jump out on stop loss. But if you look at this again, I wasn't playing this yesterday, but from $1.30 up to 158, that's almost like a 20% move, maybe 15%. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. $1.33 up to $1.40, another decent move, and then here $1.36, and it kept running into after hours to $1.80, and that's another huge move. So even if you wanted to just kind of play this off those entry points I've been talking about here, and if anyone this is pretty easy to set up no matter what chart you're looking at. I'm really looking at the 50 SMA. That's the simple moving average. And really, I mean, if you could only use one thing, that's pretty much it, because really I don't like to play stocks for day trades to go long on until they cross above that 50. I just use these other two lines. Basically, I want to make sure that, to really ensure that we're in a bullish trend. And then sometimes I'll use them to kind of give me some exit points, but you couldn't even go wrong with the stop loss and the 50 moving average SMA. The other two lines I have set up on here though is the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA. And all I'm looking for there is, I want an entry point above this 50, but I also just want to ensure that this green line is trading above the orange line or crossing above it. And sometimes I'll find some entry points even before then, like green above orange here could have been an entry point, but a lot of times I won't even play those. I look to just get in above the 50, and that's my biggest entry point. Whenever I see the stock pop up above the 50, like we saw here, I would jump in, and then potentially set some stops to protect myself from the downside. But with a stock like this that has this squeeze potential, if I was going to play this one today, I would just maybe leave it a little bit looser, my stop losses, not get stopped out so early. That way, you can get involved in this, stay in for this little ride down, and then hit the big pops. you know, and that's never really steered me wrong, playing that strategy. There's so many other day trading strategies when you start looking at, like, really reading candles and everything else. But um, that's still the one that I probably go back to. I'd say 90% of the time is just looking for those crossovers above the 50. And, you know, um, if you protect yourself with stop losses on the downside, you'll really kind of protect yourself from big losses, but be involved in potentially some big gains when we're playing these bigger runners. So PROG is one that I'm definitely going to be looking at. It looks like a really nice short squeeze setup, but that should also offer some opportunity to jump in and out of these stocks throughout the day. It looks like the scanners, I should say, that we looked at yesterday didn't do too bad. We got a lot of potential in there for those of you guys that have been day trading right now. Yeah, so let's see where we're at. Big Nate, what's up? Good morning. KLF, Matt Johnston, AL, happy Friday. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Sly says, do you see any call plays for PROG? Yeah, we just looked at that. I mean, I really don't know. Like, I feel like, just writing something down. You just reminded me of a comment I responded to on my video the other night. It's IV's high. It's not super high for a squeeze play. You can get in on these other ones under 200%. With a $7 price target. If you wanted to go November, I mean, I just look at it this way, right? So let's say you bought this $2 strike. You needed to get to 235. If you bought the $1.50 strike, you needed to get to 50 cents. Right now, the stock's trading at $1.80. So hypothetically, you can come in here and buy 3 of these contracts for $150, as opposed, and get the movement of 300 shares, as opposed to $180 to give you the movement of 100 shares. So that's one way of looking at it. You have that expiration date. So the further you go out, the lower the IV looks to be getting, but you're still paying more because of time premium. I definitely would come out here to January for $5 more. I'm getting more than double the time on expiration. Typically I like to play a 0.25 delta. And it looks like they just added that strike at $3. That'll probably be somewhere in there. I mean, for $15, you can get this 0.21 delta. And if you look at it from that point of view, and again, I'm out in January, which is 100 days from now, and you're talking about a stock that's got a $7 price target. But you're putting this, you're coming in buying calls right now that are trading at double of what the stock is. So you just got to, be aware of that you may not want to hold this thing until $5. If it's trading at $1.80 right now, you buy these for 15 cents. When this stock, starts running and IV goes through the roof because, the squeeze starts kicking off. I just realized I pulled this off the screen. Squeeze starts kicking off, and all of a sudden, this 15-cent call that you bought is worth 90 cents. I mean, that's what, 4 or 5 times profit. So 500% profit. I would exit before we even get to $5. You just gotta, because you have an expiration date, and because once it turns around and starts going south, you're putting yourself at risk of getting zero. And you can also put stop losses on call contracts too, which is something that I've done plenty of times. Like, when I'm not playing like these huge FD type plays, and I'm just playing like my DraftKings calls that I had last month or 2 months ago, a lot of times with call contracts, you can get up 50% fast. Stock might only move 2 or 3%, and your call contract's up 50%. So a lot of times, depending on the play and where my target was, if I get up 50%, I might put like a 20% trailing stop on. Okay, so if you think about that, stock goes up 50%. Let's say the stock's trading at $1, right? Or your contract's trading for $1. So now it goes up to 50 cents. Now you have a 50%, or it goes up to $1.50. Now you have a 50% profit. You put a 20% trailing stop on that. Really what's going to happen is, sorry guys, I need to grab a calculator for this because it's early. So $1.50 is a 50% profit for you, but you're going to take away 20% on your trailing stop. Now you're getting stopped out at $1.20. Okay, so really what's happening is you're only locking in 20% profits, but 20% profits is still huge. And if you put that trailer on it, let's say all of a sudden it gets into the 100% profit range, it's worth $2 now. Okay, but you just have this trailing stop kind of flowing on it. Well, now 20% minus that, you're only going to walk away with 60% profits, but you're still leaving yourself room to run. And so on. Let's say the contract runs to $3, and you're looking at it and you're like, damn, I could sell this for a 200% profit right now, but you still got that trailing stop, but it's 20% of the whole contract. So now you get out at 240, which is still 140% profit. So a lot of times I do that because of how quick, options contracts pricing can change due to everything, the underlying stock, the implied volatility, theta, all those different variables. And so I definitely, once I get into a profitable position with options contracts, I always try to utilize that trailing stop because, it can happen instantly where your contract loses value for whatever reason. And if you're not sitting there watching it, at least you can lock those profits in. And that's a lot better than having your contract expire worthless, and losing a bunch of profit that you already had. So definitely if you're starting to play some options and stuff, learn how to put those stops on, and then how you want to use it. And you don't have to do it by a percentage either. That's just the way that I do it. You can also, in that same scenario I gave where, let's say you bought the contract for $1, it gets up to $1.50, so that's 50% gain. You could say, I want to go minus 10 cents, trailing stop it now. So if it drops down to $1.40, you're out. If it runs up to $2, now you're going to be stopped out at $1.90, or you'll be in for the higher run. So definitely a tool to take advantage of. Andy Smith, what's up? Big Nate says bought some VLTA, hoping it will fill the gap. Big sell off. Can't find out why. Oh yeah, I don't know where you bought at, but this thing dumped pretty hard from 935 down to 778. If we look at a daily chart here, so you're looking to fill this gap. Yeah, it could have some potential. I don't know anything about the actual stock. Like, did it sell off for a specific reason? Previous highs of 18, but it's currently trading at a low on the year. I would imagine this gap will get filled at some point. It's just a matter of how long. You obviously, you don't want to be holding this stock for 3 months waiting for the gap fill. But I would definitely just do some digging into the news behind it. It did hit a ton of volume yesterday. And I don't have my news ticker open right now. Let me get that open and let's see if I could see something on it. VLTA. Yeah, granted 2 U.S. patents. Huh. And a recent buy rating of $15. That's crazy. And the thing just sold off. So, I mean, without knowing much about it, and again, I know you know this already, Big Nate, but not financial advice or nothing, but it looks like all bullish news and, you know, $15 price target, some other stuff going on there. And so if you bought in on that dip yesterday, somewhere in that $7 or $8 range, who knows? I wonder if it had to do with options. Let's see what max pain on this is. So it looks like max pain's $11 regardless. So that shouldn't, I don't think that's going to prevent it from having any sort of increase or bounce back today or anything like that, because it's trading well below max pain. And it's only playing monthlies right now. IV's pretty low too. I might do some digging into this play. Just again, based off barely anything right now, but all-time highs at 18, recent analyst price target of 15, trading at its low point right now. You know, I could see this maybe hitting a little bit more sell-off today and getting this oversold before bouncing up, but it's a pretty intriguing play. Again, I don't know anything about the stock or anything, but I kind of like what I Stock Hunter says, been a good morning, made a few bucks off Bitcoin and ETH. Nice. Are all the charts you pull the data off a website anyone could pull up? So like this, the options data I pull up is through my Thinkorswim software. But that's a good question, because I mean there is a lot of, I'll pull up, you know, some of the stuff that I'm using. So MaximumPain.com, that's where I usually go to look up, you know, what the max pain number, and all I'm looking at is just right here, you know, VLTA max pain was 11. This is free. But once you get in there, you can actually, I'll make this a little bit bigger too. You can get like other options data in there, you know, what the open interest is right now, which is something that I'm always looking at. IV, what the current price is. So you can kind of pull up the entire option chain in there on this Max Pain page that they have. Ortex data is a paid subscription. So is my Fintel and my Trady Ticks. But in terms of free services that you could check out, MaximumPain.com is a great one. The other one that I use in here is, let's see here, Chart Exchange. Okay, so a lot of times I use Chart Exchange, like with CLOV, for instance. We'll just take a look since we're talking about it right now. You can come on here and pull up the option chain by date and see exactly what I was just pulling over. Same type of information. You know, the different strikes, what price they're trading at right now. You know, it might look in a different format once you kind of figure out how that format works. Like it looks like they're doing it opposite. These are the lowest calls. These are the highest. Open interest, volume, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, Definitely there's free stuff out there that you can use. Also, the cool thing about this chart exchange, if you come over here to historical, you can see it day by day, open, high, low, close, the volume, just all kind of given to you in one place. So if you were wondering, like, hey, what was that day that we had that huge volume on CLOV? Well, you pull this up. Oh, look, it was September 7th is when we had 175 million. And then this stats tab is one that I've been using. So we could see here that yesterday there was 47% dark pool volume for CLOV. Come down here. It starts with volume. I like to turn on percent. So again, 47% yesterday. That was the highest day since September 23rd in terms of dark pool volume. And then short volume, kind of the same thing. We could see again another huge day. So we had 64%, 61%, and 56%. Even if we take this back to 5 days, that's 5 days. 4 of the last 5 days, where 3 days were over 60%, one was over 50. It's just insane. The way this stock's been getting attacked. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Chart Exchange is another good one. That's free. And then the only other one that sometimes I'll use is barchart.com. And barchart.com has a ton of information built into it as well. But those are all free sites. Definitely worth taking advantage of. In terms of the ones that I pay for, Ortex, you do get a little bit more information on there. But I think that one, I could be wrong. I want to say it's like $50 a month, $48 a month. Fintel, I like because I can really, you can kind of take a look at. I don't know if subscribing to all this stuff is really worthwhile for the average investor. I started picking up a lot of these once I started streaming. I always had the Ortex, but Fintel I started getting into, not streaming, but once I started the YouTube channel, just because gives you access to some other stuff. Again, a lot of this information you could find free in other places, but being able to see what buys came in recently on the stock and having all the information in one place, institutional ownership. If we come over here to the short interest side, they give a short squeeze score. You can kind of look at the volume coming in each day. But again, 52% short volume here, 56 when you combine it. This is very similar numbers that we just got for free on that other website. Failure to deliver data, you can find this, free in other places. So most of this information you could always get for free in some of those other websites. But like Fintel, I like the way that they package it, and some of the other stuff that they give. And then Tradietics, is a really powerful tool that I've just been digging into, and gives you a ton of great information in here. Like they've got some scanners built in for swing trading that I've really been playing around with lately, where you can click here and it's actually giving you swing trade ideas. So yesterday it was saying BYSI, BBIG, RIG. These are all swing trade ideas that it popped up with yesterday. I see SDC and Gamestop in there. And then if you click on the stock, let me see if I pull this out a little bit. It gives you a little bit more information on it, what the average volume. It's not telling you anything specific to buy, but it's just saying, that it's bullish. whatever. But then if you, let's say you click on it, let's click on, looks like they even said CLOV yesterday. So let's click on CLOV and see what it said about it. So now you come in here and a lot of times it'll also give you some, it'll tell you what's going on with the stock that's making it bullish. You know, I think that's right here. And they give you an options dashboard per stock. Looks like yesterday's overall options flow was bearish. Looks like their algorithms right now are showing that the stock's going to get pulled down a little bit more. Kind of gives you all the strikes on the option chain. So it's just a way of packaging a lot of this information. And they've got some really cool scanners built into there too. The one that I've been kind of really looking at, like I said, was that profit scanner for swing trade ideas. But they also have this intraday scanner, which is pretty damn good. If you look at it, it'll come in here intraday and tell you, like, you know, buy puts, you know, on SQ for ATER. You know, it's saying that it's neutral right now. So there's a lot of different alerts that this thing will kind of pull up throughout the day. They have this other scanner called Flash that looks for divergences between their algorithms. I'm just starting to learn it all though, but there's some really cool stuff in there. And you know, what I've been doing with it, because I don't really understand everything. There's just so much, and they keep adding on to it. I've been watching a lot of the videos and then kind of paper trading it, you know, and literally paper trading it, like writing down on a piece of paper, like, oh, okay, so this is saying an entry point here. Let me go back and check and see what happens with that one later, just to see what it does. But TradyTix is a really powerful tool. Let me get CLOV back up over here on my level. There we go. All right. Scotty, what's up? Good morning. Okay, Big Nate says VLTA, latest SPAC to suffer as the lockup period ends. Okay. Junior Wills. Kyle says, can you help me better understand buying a call versus selling a put, and selling a call versus buying a put? Yes, I also did some I'll go over it right now, but for anyone who's watching, but if anyone who hasn't, I did some pretty cool videos on this stuff. And I went over a lot of it, and I'll just pull it up real quick just so you guys can see, like, on my actual channel. Right here I have these chalk talks. Okay. Options explained kind of goes into like the basics of options, all the Greeks, all that kind of stuff. But this playlist that I started here, that's about option strategies. Right now I did leap contracts, covered calls, and cash secured puts. So that I kind of break down those same things. But basically, and I like the way you worded that too. So buying a call and selling a put are both bullish strategies, right? When you buy a call, you're looking at, you're buying this contract. It's got an expiration date. You're looking to profit off the price movement of the contract. That could be because the underlying stock moves, or maybe because the contract gains IV and goes up, but it expires, and you're the buyer, right? So you're paying the premium right now. Let's just use CLOV for an example because I have that chart up. But CLOV's trading right now at 740, and let's say you came all the way out here to November 12th and bought, the $10 strike because you think CLOV's going to go up. You're paying $39 right now for that contract. If you held it till expiration, you needed to go to 1039. But a lot of times, like if you bought this for $39, if all of a sudden CLOV went and popped up to 9 tomorrow or next week or something, this contract might end up being worth $2. Um, and that's, what, 400% profit, or 4 times what you bought into it for. So you may, for me, I would probably sell that before it even reaches 10, way before we even get to this November 12th date, because I don't want to risk the stock going against me and then expiring worthless. So usually with options contracts, you don't always have to hit that mark. But it definitely is a bullish. It's a bet on, I want this stock to go up. Now, when you sell puts, this is bullish too, because buying a put is a bearish play. That means you're betting. It's the exact opposite of the call. You're betting that the stock's going to go down. So if I was to buy a put right now, let's say I thought CLOV was going to go down to, $6.50 by November 12th. Maybe I buy this put here for 55 cents. And all of a sudden, when CLOV trends down and gets closer to 650, this thing might be worth $1.50 or something, and I just made, double my money, triple my money. But either way, when you're buying the contract, if you're buying a call, you're bullish. When you're buying a put, you're betting the stock is going down, you're bearish. Now, let's look at the opposite side of it. If I want to sell the put on CLOV, let's say I go out here to November, and I want to sell the puts, and I'm bullish on the stock. So I think CLOV by November is going to be trading somewhere around, $9. I think for sure CLOV's going to be selling above $9 by November. So I can come in here right now and sell this put. There's some wide spreads right now. This is that's ridiculously wide there. But either way, let's say I sell this put. Immediately, I'm going to receive cash back. Let's say I actually sell it for this 250 strike. I'm going to get $250 in my pocket for this $9 put. It's my money now. I can do whatever I want with it. Now, I'm bullish on the stock. So I want the stock to go above 9, and close above 9 by November. If it closes at $9.01 or anything higher than that, I am completely off the hook. I get to keep that $250, and that's it. I'm done. Nothing else comes from me. Now, if the stock trades below that, let's say the stock closes at $8 on November 12th, well, I sold the contract. I need to buy that stock now. So I would need to buy 100 shares of CLOV, but I don't need to buy it for 8. I had the $9 put. So even though the stock's trading at 8 on November 12th, I need to buy it for 9. Okay, so I'm going to now spend $900 on 100 shares. However, I was already given $250. So that brings my price of the stock down to what? $6.50. Is that right? So even though I'm being forced to buy this stock for $900, if you look at the grand scheme of things, I'm paying $900 on November 12th, but I received $250 for it today. If I was to get assigned, if it closes below 9, I'm actually getting the stock at $6.50. So it's definitely a bullish play. And I'm glad you brought this up. I was actually talking to my neighbor about this the other night, and then I actually seen venture investors on Twitter did something similar. But if you go way out here to January 24th, right now these premiums, and this is again, 2.5 years from now, or 2 years and 3 months from now. Let's just say you sell. I would imagine by 2024, CLOV's going to be trading well above $17. And the only reason I don't like this $20 one is because the spread's too wide. But let's say you sell this $17 put for $12 right now. You're going to get $1,200 today in your pocket. It's your money to spend however you want. Now the way this works for most retail investors is it's a cash secured put. So what I mean by that is you have to have 1,700 in cash to do this, and you can't touch this cash as long as the contract's there. But hear me out. So if you had $1,700 sitting aside right now that you could put off to the side and do a cash secured put here, you're going to get 1,200 back immediately to spend. I mean, that's some ridiculous return on investment. You still don't get to spend that 1,700. That's going to be locked up in case you have to buy this stock for $17 down the road. But you're getting an additional 1,200 now. Okay, so now with that 1,200, the same exact thing we talked about was take that 1,200 and let's go to January 23rd, which is a year and 3 months from now, and let's buy some calls. We're basically getting them for free now, right? I got $1,200 to spend. So, and we don't got to go crazy. Let's go with the same strike, this $17 strike, selling for $2 a piece. I could buy 6 of those now. So again, now I have in a year and a half or a year and 3 months, I would imagine CLOV would be trading above 17. If I wanted to be a lot safer, sure. Usually with leaps, I would go at the money. So maybe, to play this much safer, go with the $10 one. But still for 284, let's just call it $300. I could now buy 4 of those with that $1,200 premium I just received from selling the puts. Okay, and so you're basically selling these puts for way out in January 24th for a stock that I would assume is going to be trading well above there by then, and getting that $1,200 back now, and then taking that $1,200 and rolling it into 4 leaps, which is going to give you the price action of 400 shares. Not a bad strategy. It was funny though, because we were just talking about this, and then I saw Venture Investors put out a tweet yesterday that he actually, I think, sold these $20 puts for 15, so he got 1,500 back. Not bad. I mean, these 2024 contracts, do offer some nice premium to make those kind of plays, even though the IV is extremely low. It's just because there's a lot of time premium built in. I hope I somewhat answered your question, Kyle. Pat, what's up? Risky Seeds, good morning. David Johnson, Kamal, Turts McGurts, what's up? Says happy Cryptober. GREE and Hut, let's go. Are they moving this morning? We'll check those out right now. Let's see here. Dave says cash secured puts, same for covered puts. A little bit different, but cash secured is basically, it's like you're covering the put contract that you're selling, right? You have to put the cash up to have it covered, because you may have to come in and buy that stock later. All right, so real quick, let's look at what's running today. So some of the I'm gonna check my scanner here. All right. So looks like there's a couple here. AVIR. Looking at a daily chart right now, it's got a 67 million float. Closed yesterday at 35.06, and currently it's up 41%. Not a bad daily chart. Looks to be running a little bit right now in pre-market. Like I said, up 41% on news of, looks like yesterday, ATER Pharmaceuticals to present at the 2nd Annual Vaccine and Infectious Day Conference. Not sure how great a news that is, but The stock is moving. It's up 41%. If we look at the volume on this thing right now, it's currently got 2 million in volume in pre-market on a 67 million float. Even if we look at yesterday, I really like the the price action here, nice and smooth, as opposed to some of the choppier ones we've seen. So this may be a stock that, regardless, even if we look back a couple more days, this might be a decent one to maybe take a look at today. I'm going to write this one down, AVIR. And then we'll just look at two other ones. So MRK. God, I can't talk this morning. 2.5 billion float. Huge float on this one. Again, clinical trial suggests Merck's COVID-19 drug cuts risk of death and hospitalizations. So this is on COVID news of a drug they have. Popped up to 81. And so right now it's up here, which I don't know why my Schwab is doing this. It's pissing me off. Let me go over here. That's why I love Thinkorswim better. This has a really choppy chart. Yeah. You see how it's just, this is what I mean when I'm talking about choppy. I'd rather not even trade a stock like this. And it's got such a big float. I doubt it's going to move much. But it is trading here right now, which is above any resistance that we may have found in the charts anywhere. Maybe 83 and 85 would be an all-time high if it really started ripping. But I'm probably going to leave that one off. And finally, the last one that came up on there, and we'll just roll with those right now, is PALT. This one has been moving for a couple days now. Had an insane day 2 days ago. I know a lot of people were day trading this one, and it ran from like $5 all the way up to 15. Closed yesterday at 10.57. Is up 7% right now. Either way, I think this is one that we should probably keep an eye on today if you're going to be looking to day trade. It's got a 3.7 million float. It's got a lot of room to move, but it can also, has the potential to come slamming back down to where it came from. So again, manage your risk wisely, use your stop losses, all that good stuff as we're going through. The one that I was really going to keep an eye on this morning, though, for anyone who's joining a little bit later. So right now, I really only like that AVIR and PALT in terms of ones that I'm going to watch today, trade today. And then the other one is going to be PROG. And I talked about this one a little bit earlier, but it's got a super high, short interest right now. It's got a recent price target of $7. This is one that I just came across some DD on Reddit yesterday and started looking at yesterday morning. I wish I would have jumped in yesterday. As you could see, it did run up from $1.30. Now it's, even this morning, it got up. There's something wrong. I got to reset my charts over here. This morning it jumped up to, what, about $2? I'm not even going to look at this shit anymore. Let's just get over here. Sorry, guys. I'm getting frustrated with the... There we go. This morning it popped up to 240, and then back down to 179 now. But I really think PROG not only has some nice short squeeze potential, but it's going to be a nice day trade candidate today. So if I had to choose one, I kind of talked about this yesterday, or not yesterday, but this morning, was, obviously I didn't trade this yesterday. I read about it. if you don't want to jump in as a short squeeze, this does seem like a great short squeeze play as well. But if you don't want to jump in as a short squeeze, you can kind of use these entry signals and just play it as a day trade with a little bit looser stop, right? And I mean, that would have got you in at, like, let's say $1.30. Sure, you're never going to time the top, but even if you get out somewhere over here at $1.47, $1.50, I mean, that's still like a 20% gain. Get in on the next run up, $1.40. It runs up to $1.80. Again, you're never going to time the top, but maybe you get out somewhere in this $1.70 range. That's almost a 30% gain. I mean, there's definitely some huge opportunities in there. You know, I don't know anyone who's up at 1 a.m. trading, but this thing hit 245. To me, this thing looks like it's ready to blow. I'm not getting, like, actually buying into it right now as a long term, but I'll be looking to play the squeeze. If I had to watch one stock today, I'm going to be doing this. And so I'll be doing exactly what I was just talking about, looking for a breakout, jumping in, and playing with the looser stop in case it actually goes parabolic and just takes off. But the stocks that I'm going to be watching today, if I had to choose three, I'll probably go with PROG. Let's see here. FAMI has been a decent one too recently, and it looks like it's still getting some nice action this morning. But more than likely, I'd probably pull up this AVIR. All right, and actually, you know what though? I don't really like the let me check out GREE and HUT real quick before I make that final determination. And both of those exploded a little bit yesterday too. Yeah, I would say if anything, I'll probably keep FAMI on again. And probably stick with PALT. I'll probably go with those three in terms of ones that I want to watch today for entry points on day trades. And again, PROG just play a little bit looser, looking for a bigger move. And then the other one, and it looks like huge candle out of CLOV right now that shot up to 764. Clover Health debuts new Medicare Advantage plans for 2022. So we just got a press release right now. That's why we're moving on this news, it looks like. And let's see if I can read these small ass letters. Clover Health, the technology company. Okay, basically they're saying they can enroll in Clover's plans. The enrollment period opens on October 15th and continues through December 7th, with coverage beginning on January 1st. Okay. In 2022, benefits such as primary and specialty physician care, outpatient hospital services, and ambulatory surgical centers will continue to feature low member out-of-pocket costs, enhancements to the company's Part D, and supplemental benefits will increase. Additional highlights, over-the-counter and grocery allowances, dental, vision, and hearing, low insulin prices, 100-day prescriptions and medication delivery, transportation assistance, access to telehealth, at-home primary care, and fitness classes. So, yeah, it looks like this is probably just a press release from the company explaining that, hey, we're going to start enrolling people on October 15th and they're going to be eligible to receive benefits this year. So I thought that was maybe something bigger, but hey, it got the juices flowing in the stock, so I'm not mad at it. Let's see. So one more thing. So again, I mean I know we're bouncing around here, but in terms of day trading, these are the three stocks I'm going to be looking into today. CLOV looks like it's moving right now. The only other thing I was just about to say was ATER again started ripping yesterday, and I really like. And I'll just put it down here real quick because I don't want to take CLOV off the main stage while it's moving right now. But if we look at what ATER did yesterday, and I know this is tiny down here, but it had two nice big rips, ran almost $2.60, and this is one like even as soon as yesterday I was talking about that I really like the way this daily chart looks, and it's got the high. It kind of has everything that you would ask for in a short squeeze. It's got all the variables that you want. The cost to borrow increasing, the utilization. It's all there. So this is one. This and probably PROG are the two short squeeze plays that I'm really looking at right now. And if I see things really start moving, I'll probably just jump in and with the stop loss on and see if I can ride these up if all of a sudden they go on a big like 50% move or something like that. Yeah, CLOV is getting some action right now. The other thing that was really kind of crazy yesterday, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I'm gonna zoom out real quick. So you see CLOV yesterday started ripping, and then kind of topped out, and this is right around 11:48. I'm just going to show you down here. AMC started moving right around the same time, and again topped out right around 11:48. Gamestop started ripping right around the same time, topped out at 11:48. BlackBerry right around the same time, around 11 o'clock, topped out at 11:48. I haven't looked into some of the other memes, OG memes, but here's looks like NAKD right around 11:50, same price action. KOSS again, high of the day, 11:48. I mean, we could probably do this all day. I know BBBY was one that we already had on the watch list yesterday. But again, topped out at 11:48. So, what's my point? What am I talking about? Well, I don't know. I just even ATER kind of same thing, but they all went on this run and then stopped. If I look at the SPY to see if there's any correlation there on why they topped out at that moment. And you see a little bit of a sell-off there, but I don't know. I can't necessarily explain why, but the last time that I saw all of the meme, so to speak, like meme stocks all spike in unison all at once, just out of the blue, was kind of like in, I'd say, mid to late May. And the only reason I remember it is because I was my sons were working out at a friend's house, and I was sitting in my car doing some other stuff and looking through, and I saw all of it happened, and I started doing exactly what I did now and looked, went to the next one and looked, and went to the next one. And I'm like, holy shit, all the memes are starting to move right now. What's going on? And it ended up being nothing. It was just kind of like this little blip like that. Like it's just something that happened and then kind of slowly faded away. Um, but if you look at the timing on that, that was like somewhere around May 19th. Um, and I actually made a video about it that day from my car, just like a minute long. Like, hey guys, I don't know what this means, but I just saw, I'm sitting here looking at charts and I just saw this insane spike come out of, you know, these 6 or 7 stocks. I mean, if you, again, this could be nothing. This could just be totally unrelated, but that was 519. I think AMC started running somewhere around June 1st. CLOV started running around like June 7th. So shortly after that, like 2 weeks or so after that. So who knows? Could be that we were, something's going on, and all these heavily shorted stocks are gonna take off running. They seem like they always run in packs, but they all started moving yesterday, all at the same time. No matter what their charts were doing, right around that same 11 o'clock hour, they all took off up, and then they all came coming down at the same time. So could be nothing, could be something big. Josh says it does suck when AMC GME up big in pre-market. Yeah, I mean AMC's up what, like a buck right now. But you got to look at it from a percentage standpoint too. But they definitely are up a little bit more than CLOV is. I mean, CLOV closed at 739. I don't know. I'm too tired to try to do the percentages right now. But if we tried to figure that out on a percentage basis, CLOV is up what, 13 cents. So it's up about 1%, almost 2%. This morning. And then if you look at Gamestop, currently trading at 178. That's $3. Let's just call it $3. They're about the same. GameStop's only up about 1% too. I think it just looks like more because, GameStop is up $3, but it's also a $175 stock. So in relation, they're both up about 1% or 2. Now, AMC on the other hand might be up a little bit more. Just call it $1.70. Yeah, AMC's up about 4% right now. But the other thing too, AMC, of all of those, when everything popped yesterday like that, AMC went the highest. I think everything else might have topped out at like maybe up 2% on the day, some lower, some higher, but AMC got as high as I think like 12% up on the day before it came coming back down. Chef Daddy says take a look at ZOM. Oh wow. 52 cents up to 73, coming back down to 62. I'm just going to pull this up over here real quick. All right, so this looks like 942 million or 954 float size. Currently getting 10. That's a big float, but it's got 10 million in volume this morning. News on this stock is Zyle Medica buys Pulse Veterinary for 70 million. Shares rise pre-bell. So as always with all these gap ups, I mean it's up 20% this morning. You might see a see this thing come crashing down, but then you're going to all of a sudden find a re-entry point and be able to ride it back up. And you just want to play the middle. You don't want to just jump into these stocks because they're moving right now and then be holding when it gives everything back. Time your entries, look for good positions. But yeah, this one looks pretty decent too. And even if we look back at yesterday's chart, I mean, it's a little bit. These long candles scare me sometimes, and the only reason I say that is, you get into this stock, let's say you ride it up to 55 cents, and within 2 minutes, this thing's already back down to 53. And that would have been a nice run, though. I'll tell you that much. All right. This actually isn't looking bad right now. I mean, we had that little spike, but we're still kind of trending upwards. The leap. Oh, you know what? That was what I just wrote down. So I had talked to somebody or messaged someone that asked me a question on a video, and I said that today I would go over some CLOV leaps. So let me do that right now. So again, keep in mind, like, this is, a strategy, and I just did a video about this not too long ago. About how I build positions, and I actually started building my position in CLOV originally through the use of leaps. If we wanted to look at the CLOV option chain right now and look at potential leap opportunities, you can come out to January 2023, gives you a year and 3 months, or you can really go way out here to 24 and gives you 2 years and 3 months. Let's look at the price difference real quick. Typically, when I buy leaps, I like to go as close to at the money as possible. Just seems like you're going to get or in the money sometimes even. For 284 right now, and this is, again, well over a year out, I can get my hands on these $10 strikes. But really what I like to do is compare it to what the price is trading at. If I wanted 100 shares of CLOV right now, they'd cost me $750. I could buy 2 of these $7 strikes for $350 a piece and get out at $710 and basically double. Now I got the price movement of 200 shares. Or if I wanted to go a little bit riskier because I really think that this stock is going to move a year and a half from now, I'd still want to stay in this, like, with a leap as close to, a 0.5 delta or higher. So maybe I come out to this $15 strike and I can get it for $218. And I could grab potentially 3 of those for the price that I would have paid for 100 shares right now. But really with leaps, like I said, because I treat them as shares, I like to get as close to at the money as possible so that I get that price action of those shares, and I could really, they're like shares to me at that point. So I want to go as close to at the money as possible. Now let's compare this though. $10 strike for a year from now is 284. If we go out another year, $10 strike is $4. Now at this point, when we're talking 2024s with CLOV, I mean, you're talking 2 years and 3 months from now, roughly, somewhere around there. I don't know where you can go wrong with these, but I wouldn't buy any leaps where, I can't get 2 for the price that I could buy shares for. So for this, I'd probably come out to this $15 strike at $350, and buy 2 of those for the same amount I could have bought 100 shares for here. But that's usually how I play it. If I was going to get these right now, I'd probably go with the $15 2024s. or $10, maybe $12 for the 2023s. I hope that helps. And just the way that I think through it. Now, I know some people at the same time, and this is everybody plays a little bit differently, might come out here and just say, well, I'm going to play the volatility and I'm not, I'm looking more to trade these and just come all the way out here to like the $40 strike and buy a bunch of these. But at that point now, you're putting yourself in a bad situation to where you need this stock to go up, 5 times what it's trading at right now to even get close to sniffing out that $40. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but in the grand scheme of things, even if that ends up happening and it takes all the way up until January, that $40 strike in January, let's say the stock is trading at 40, that thing's going to be, if it gets really close to January right now, that thing's only going to be worth maybe $2 or $3. So you're not, you have way more potential to make money. I'd rather buy this down here and again, treat it like shares. Once it gets into the money, this $10 strike is going to move almost identical to shares. So if we do get up to 40, this thing's going to be worth like $3,000, like $30. So that's the way I play leaps. I try to go as close to at the money as possible. Or at least I'd like to be in a 0.5 delta, or greater. And typically, I'd rather be as close to really the objective with this is to get these things deep in the money and get as close to a 0.9 delta as possible so that you could start getting like as close to dollar movement as you can. Risky Seed says, did you see any of Shamath's comments on CNBC? Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday. I watched like little snippets of the interview. I don't know how long the total interview was, but I thought he did good. I don't know what, if anything, it's going to do for the actual stock price. Like is it gonna help the stock move up or anything like that? I don't know, but I do think it's good to see him getting back out there and he was a very vocal person back in January, February. He was always, seems like you were always hearing from him. He was very active on his Twitter account and everything else, and it's now all of a sudden that he's getting back up there and starting to talk again. He did mention CLOV and his faith in the company and everything else, and I thought it was good, and he also didn't hold back on kind of speaking his mind on what's going on with short sellers, or at least insinuating. So I thought it was pretty good. Patrick, what's up? Good morning. CPA says was in and out of ATER, made some money. Yeah, no, that's kind of where I think this, you almost got to play these stocks right now. They're so volatile. They're swinging so much. You have the opportunity to where if you can get out, set a stop loss, even a trailing stop loss, ride them up, make some good money, look for the next one that's breaking out. But I mean, a lot of those, I know we're sitting here talking about some of these other names that are moving in pre-market that you could do this to potentially, but really, I mean, if you go back to the same stocks that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, your BBIGs, your TMC, SDC, GREE, ATER, IRNT, even if you just kept an eye on those stocks on a daily basis, you could find some nice breakouts in there and just keep kind of jumping in and jumping out. Kevin says, CLOV needs a social movement to get awareness to how they help underserved and minority communities. Need to get in touch with the AOC or Bernie, crush the dirty hedge funds and market makers. Social movement for CLOV. Yeah, I think they are, though. like we saw them. There was that thing in Atlanta. I want to say it was back in May. Um, oh no, I'm thinking too far back now. It's all a blur. Maybe July. We saw them get honored in Atlanta or somewhere in Georgia, and in that community, and kind of got a lot of positive press out there. I think in the communities that they're in, that just has to do with their kind of their growth and marketing, right? Um, but I think they are. We've seen them in multiple, and the only one that comes to mind is the Georgia one. But I know there's a couple other communities that they've been honored in and asked to speak, and people are kind of seeing them for what they do and the difference makers that they have the potential on being. And but I think you're right as well. Um, more engagement, more awareness is only going to get more people to sign up into those plans. Danny did it. What's up? Good morning. All right, Josh. I get what you're saying about the news, we knew about, but all it really is Clove is basically coming out right now, and they're putting out their press release. I mean, there is a little bit more information in there than what we got in previous, but you're right, it is basically somewhat of the same news, right? So we're talking about months ago, Clove came out, just to paint the timeline for you guys. A couple months ago, Clove came out and said, hey, we have plans to expand into these new counties. Okay, well, just recently, CMS came out and approved that expansion, so that's good. Okay, so now that happened, now it's Clove's turn to give their own press release on the matter. And basically, what they did this morning was they came out and said, hey, this expansion was approved. We're going to come out. We're going to, we're expanding into these counties. We're going to start open enrollment on October 15th. And, we're going to start serving these lives under management that sign up as early as January 1st. And also, here's all the benefits that we offer. So, if anything, I mean, this even goes back to kind of like what we were just talking about with them getting more social awareness that Kevin brought up was, they're putting it out here in this press release, what they do, 100-day prescription and medication delivery, low insulin prices, dental vision and hearing, transportation assistance, access to telehealth, over the counter and grocery allowances. So they're putting it all together and again creating this awareness. This is one way of doing it, is putting this press release out to anybody else and saying, look, not only are we expanding into these new counties, we're going to start open enrollment in 2 weeks, and this is what we offer. But I do agree in what you're saying, Josh, in that it's kind of the same news that we've been seeing, but it's just part of the process. Um, all right, let's see here. JSOP, what's up? Let me see here. So, let me see. We got a guest coming on today too. It's Friday, so let me see if I can get this all set up nice and neat here for us. Gotta move this thing back down. There we go. All right, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. All right, so you guys know it's Friday, and you guys know how we like to kick off Fridays. So here we go. We got Scotty live. What's up, Scotty?
What up? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? I've been on the warpath this morning, coach. I've been on the warpath, man.
Yeah, what you got going on?
I got guys delivering the wrong carpet to a job. I got another guy who's a plumber that's trying to snake me, telling me he drilled all the way through the concrete down to the next level, but he can't find his threaded rod. I'm all over the place today, bro. I'm all over the place. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, we just got our I just got a message a little while ago. Well, I guess it came in last night, but I've been going to bed early. Our football game tonight got canceled. The other team got a COVID outbreak. So, um I
Well, they
was
caught the
looking forward to
COVID.
that, but you know, well that's about it. The other thing though I will say is I survived last night. I don't know. Are you still? Have you lost in the survivor
Oh
pool
yeah,
at all?
I'm in. Bro. My pick is in. I saw you had the Bengals, and you like I fell asleep. I mean, they were getting their ass kicked like 14-0 when I fell asleep, and they pulled it out. I knew they would. I mean, that was a good pick by you. I mean, I got a different pick for Sunday, but that was a pretty cute pick. I liked it. I thought that was a good use of them. Let's put it
Yeah,
that
I
way.
was just like, I mean, honestly, I don't want to give away my strategy, but I just
Right,
trying to find because you can't pick the same team more than once, right? So
right,
find the terrible teams and try to find a team that's not really one of the best but that's playing a terrible one that maybe you can get by with, like that's what I
right,
like who's playing the Jets this week. All right, you know what I mean. And then
right.
you kind of, I mean, obviously they're gonna win at some point and knock people off doing it that way, but it just seems like an easy way to get by early on right now.
Right, right. I'm with you, man. I'm 100% with you on that. It's funny you mentioned the Jets. I think maybe my pick might. I know I'm going to give it away, but my pick's going to be the Titans this week because there's no way I think that the Jets can beat the Titans. I mean, and I'm fine using them. I'm fine using them in that spot because I don't like to do. Well, I don't want to give too much strategy away either. Maybe I'll just save that for like after the season concludes, and I'll go into a little strategy. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm still in there, Coach. I'm still in.
Let me see here real quick.
We're about to hit bell.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Right on cue. So, I got a funny story about actually the last two NFL games. So, what was it? Monday Night Football. Like I just happen to be walking by and I hear my sons. They're 10 and 8. And they're kind of like talking crap to each other. And I turns out they bet each other on the game. They like put a bet
Get
down.
out of
Like,
here,
yeah,
10 and
so
8.
the younger one took the Cowboys and the older one took the Eagles. And so they're like arguing back and forth, and the little one's teasing the other one because the Cowboys are rolling and everything. And so they actually like placed a bet on the game, with each other, right? So then
Right,
yesterday we're driving home from school and they both wanted the Bengals. They're talking again. I heard them talking like you won't bet me on tonight's game, and they're going back and forth.
yeah.
They both wanted the Bengals, so whatever. So we get home from football practice and it's already 14-0. And so the older one, he's trying to kind of like take advantage or whatever, and he's like, he knows the Bengals are, a much better team or whatever. And then it goes 14-7. And then he goes, hey, Jaguars are up 14-7. He goes, you wanna take the Jaguars now? And so
Whoa. Snaked them.
um and so they ended up betting on. I don't know if I'm creating little gamblers or what. I mean, I haven't said nothing. I've just been kind of listening to them on the side. I haven't gotten
Right.
involved, but
That's great, man. That's
uh,
funny. That's awesome, though. Isn't that great, though, man? Like those kind of stories are the kind of stories that make me wish I chose to have kids because I would love to kind of have that experience. You know what I mean? That must feel good as a dad. You know what I mean?
yeah, even just that they're into it, and
Yeah,
that they
right.
like,
That
because
they're
like
into the
for
sport.
me,
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
used to be, like when they were younger. like I'd have to go in the other room and watch the game. You know what I mean? And then, because they were playing with their toys or they wanted to watch Disney Channel or something like that. And now it's
Right.
like when there's football on Sundays or whatever, they want to know who's playing. They know who all the players are and stuff, even with college football. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome. And you get to share that time with them, and I'm sure you're thankful and grateful that they're kind of into it too. I mean, they
yeah.
could be into something you're not into, or then it's kind of probably more of a drag. But that's really cool that they're into what Pop's into. You know what I mean?
Yep. So what's going on? I want Scotty's insight on Clove, man. What the hell is going on with this?
Oh man, like look, you the same song that I sang. I'm holding. I bought more. I was very excited and happy to buy more yesterday. Actually, I was really, I don't know. It's weird. I'm pumped to buy more stock. I don't know. I was very very excited to get it at a discount. And actually, I got a couple of my buddies, not that I got them in it, but in telling them about the stock, and definitely with the caveat of this is not financial advice. You know what I mean? They did their own, DD, and they also made the decision to jump in. Look, you know, I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. I'm also not the stupidest, but I can read and I can understand. I can see, and I think that this company has a lot of value, and I think it has a very bright and big future ahead of it. I think that October is going to be a very very interesting month. I think it may be a bit of a not 100% telling, but a little bit of a telling month too. Because we're expecting,
You have
the
the star rating thing happening next week,
star
right?
rating, right?
I think it's
You got
next
the
week.
15th open enrollment,
Yep. And then we
and
got
so
when was quarter three earnings should be coming up too, right? That's
yes, that's on I believe November 10th, if I'm correct. And
yeah.
again,
So
I do a lot of reading, bro. I do a lot of the reading. You
yeah, so
know.
I think you're right, man. I think somebody just asked in the comments. I'm sorry, the comments were started when Scotty comes on. The comments go crazy, and I kind of
Oh,
lost it in there.
I don't have it in front of me. Like I told you, I'm a little short today. I gotta hop out in like 15 minutes, but so I'm not paying attention. But I want just to address the Yo, I'm not seeing you guys, but I love you guys, and I definitely will read them all back. While I'm on the train here traveling. But hello to everybody that I'm not seeing that's saying hello. That's for sure.
Yeah. So the question that came in was, and I think I talked about this yesterday too, or maybe the day before. It's all kind of I'm so tired in the mornings, but like, is this just a long term investment now, or does it still have squeeze potential, and does it still have? To me, I think that the squeeze potential is definitely still there. What happened, we did see the float get diluted a little bit with the warrants and everything else, but we've been seeing this insane amount of dark pool volume. We've been seeing the insane amount of short volume. So while Ortex numbers don't read out the same, if you look at, some of the more retail heavy, quote unquote, meme stocks, they're all in the same boat. And it's all this kind of crazy manipulation with Gamestop, AMC, to where if you go look on Ortex, the numbers aren't showing there, but where the numbers showing and the failure to delivers and some of the other things
Right.
that, and that's where you could tell that. So if all of a sudden this stock started running and got to, back upwards in the $15 range, $16 range, you're going to have a lot of shorts, I think, a little bit underwater. We might need to push higher to 20 to really get to that point to where everybody's underwater and needs to cover. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of gamma squeeze, the option chain, the IV is really low right now. But that doesn't mean, and I think I could have swore we maybe talked about this on Tuesday or something. But it's funny because back in May, and I had been making videos about Clove, I think since March or somewhere
Right.
around there. And in May, I kind of made this video like, look, guys, I love this stock. It's worth way more at the time. I think it was trading for like $8 or something, kind of where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll continue to accumulate and buy this stock, regardless. But it looks like we're kind of losing some gamma squeeze potential and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And then shortly after that, we gamma squeezed to 28. But I mean, the gamma squeeze potential could change overnight. That just takes some
Sure.
whales coming in and buying up or whatever. But shit, Scotty, I actually got to take off pretty shortly here too. So
We're not taking off without getting down to business here, Coach.
what do
We
you
got to get down
got
to
right
business.
now?
I got look. I told you I'm on fire today. I'm on fire already since like 3:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm doing a Tennessee fire, and then I'm gonna get on the train, skedaddle.
All right,
Hey, so here we go. We're
I
gonna give
got
it a
some
rip.
water with you. You
I
ready?
hear you. We're gonna give it a rip. Let's go. Nasty, nasty. Oh, that's almost like a fireball, but kind of a little nastier. Oh, yeah. Here, Coach. Here's to a green day today. You know what I mean? Green day
Absolutely.
today. I just see a massive dump right now. What do you got? The 1 minute or the
Yeah,
5?
it's a 1 minute chart. So we had came down and touched the 741, and then looks like we just came down and touched it again. Potentially
TMB,
could bounce up from
TMB,
here. Looks like
TMB.
yeah, just kind of that typical morning bullshit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I again kind of like to get to what you were saying, man. It's just another opportunity that I really think a year or two from now, man, we're gonna look back and be like, dude, you remember when Clove was trading at $7? You know, and I mean, you know, and whether you still own the stock or you dump during the squeeze or whatever happens, a year or two from now, you're gonna be looking at that stock price and be like, remember we were stressing about this stock being, trading at
Yeah.
750. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely, man. I'm with you 100%. I like, I'm here holding for a while. If a squeeze happens, that's awesome. That's great. I'm here. I got this one here to hold for a while. You know what I mean? That's how I feel, and that's how I'm rolling, and that's it.
yep. All
But
right.
have a
Well,
great weekend, Coach. Man, it's always great, and everybody else, you guys have a great weekend too, and everybody stay positive. Hey, look, buy it on sale right now. Not financial advice. Buy it on sale though. Do yourself a favor. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day, Coach.
all right, Scotty. And as we're signing off right here, I'm gonna take off too. But PROG is moving. I think this is the next big squeeze right here. It really has the setup. But um, keep an eye on this one. You know. But you guys, everybody, be safe in the markets. If you are gonna play some of these other plays, like I said, not financial advice, but manage your risk. Use a stop loss, whether it be mental or something automatic, trailing, whatever. Protect yourself from the downside because any of these stocks that are up big have the potential to come back down hard too. But this one looks like it could be a nice runner. At least I think $7 price target just got assigned to it. Super high short interest. Still a lot of room to run there. All right, guys, have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday morning. And then Monday, we also got the No Financial Limit show with Ghost. Have a great weekend.